Now, one of the advantages to using Metasploit is the number of payloads that are available. I'm going to start up MSF console again, and there is a particular exploit that I know works pretty well on one of the systems I've got here running as a virtual machine. It's a very, very old version of Windows. And so I'm going to search Net API. The one I am looking for is this one here. And so I'm going to copy that and then use it. And the first thing I need to do is set my R host because that always needs to be set if we are doing remote exploits. So that's going to be my R host there. What I can do is I can set my payload, and the payload is the chunk of code that is going to be delivered to the remote system and executed. And it really determines the interaction that you are going to get with that remote system. What I can do here is set my payload, and I am going to set it to Windows shell reverse TCP. Before I actually do this, I need to set my L host, and my L host is going to be my local IP address. So that's going to be 192.168.86.22. I need my L host set so that the payload actually gets this IP address so the remote host knows where to forward the message back to. And now I can just exploit. I've got a remote shell on that system. And so this is actually a command prompt, which is what the reverse shell, of course, would be. I would get a command prompt back, and you can see Microsoft Windows XP. It looks exactly like it would look on the local system if I were to open up the command prompt. And you can see the path that I am currently in, and I am in system 32. So I have remotely exploited a target system, and I have set a payload that gives me a Windows shell or a command prompt back. You can set different payloads. If I were to show payloads, you could see all of the payloads that were available. Not all payloads are going to be available for all exploits. It really depends on the exploit and how much space is available in the exploit, how big the payload actually is. And of course, it's also dependent upon the target platform. You can see a number of Windows payloads, but there are also Linux payloads, there are Android payloads, there are payloads for different platforms, and they can be used for different applications. You can set different payloads in order to get different behaviors back from the remote system. And some of that has to do with whether you're going through a firewall, whether you're NATed, all sorts of other different things. You can set the behavior of the interaction with that remote system by setting the payload.